Hey everyone, so I'm Cass, the owner of String Harvest, and I have been meaning to do this for so long now. Everybody's asking how do you get started on a coil raffia basket and what is my technique. So I'm going to show you today how to get started on making something like this. This is one of my works in progress. I have coils everywhere, all over the house. And this is another one I'm working on. And so I'm using a crochet hook. There are so many different ways you can get started, but this is the way I like to do it. And since everybody's asking, I'm going to show you the way I do it. So you need some raffia and you need a crochet hook. And to get started, about half a dozen strands of raffia. Sorry about the really bad lighting. Hopefully you can still see what we're doing. I'm going to give it my best. And I'm going to show you in a contrasting colour. This is the bit that's going to go around. So, I use a fine crochet hook, generally like a 2.5mm, but this is 4mm hook, and it's going to be fine. So, line up about half a dozen strands of raffia, and you've got your thread strand, and give it about 5 inches or something like that. Now, maybe I'll turn around so I can show you. Maybe I'll do that second. Okay, so you fold it and put it in your hook, and have that in your hand, so behind. So I've got this behind my main strand of raffia, and to get started, we are going, sorry, it's all coming undone now, just to bring it up in front, all of it, and just with your hook, just go all, sorry if you can see that, all the way around, and just pull it through, and again, take it from the back, up the front, and pull it all through, and eventually, that second strand, actually I'm going to leave that short strand off just now. Pull it through, and it doesn't matter if it's messy because you'll get tidier at this the more you do it. Okay, I'm going to face you guys now. I think you can see that easier. Pull it up and around and through, and you're going to do about 8 stitches at first to get started. We're just going to do those quickly. So bringing it up the front towards you, looping over and pulling it through. Bring it up and through. And now to start making your coil, take the starting bit you had here and fold it underneath, and you can line it up with your current stitch. There we go. And in your next stitch, you're going to bring your raffia up in front of both of those. So make sure you do your stitch. This can be a bit difficult the first time you do it, and I've got a really thick chunk of raffia, so it's making it a little harder. But you want to pull that through, all of it, and that kind of what makes it a loop, like this. And so that you've got enough stitches here to start coiling around, because this bottom, this raffia here is going to start forming a coil this way. So do about 3 of these stitches, and it can be hard to pull them all the way up the front. You want them to stay on top of your work. If these stitches start coming too far towards you, or they end up sticking underneath, as in down here, if your stitch ends up down here instead of up here, you can run into all sorts of trouble with your coil forming, and you'll end up with a 3D sculpture rather than a flat coil to get started. So I like to do 3 stitches, just in that one spot, because that gives you enough space to start working around. Okay, now I've got a bit of raffia doing something funny there. The next stitch is going to go into the very first stitch you did, which you're going to see is right here. Right there. So, putting your hook under. Sorry, I'm a lefty and this is looking really hard to do. Putting it under and pulling through. And again, 3 stitches in that spot. So if you can keep track, the very first stitch you did, it's going to go in that hole. And if you do 3 stitches in there, what was on the bottom before is now going to be your top. And you can see your coil start to form. So this looks really messy. If I turn it around, this is the side that's facing me. And you just keep going from there. And when you run out of raffia, you can see this is getting short. There's a few easy tricks. You can just be a bit crude about it and just tie a knot. I think that's an easy way to get going if you're just starting out. Or I'm going to show you now. So I should just say, early on in your coil, you want to do 2 stitches in each hole. So if you know anything about crochet, when you're trying to make, a circle going in the round, you need to do a couple of stitches in each hole from the row below, so that you don't end up going straight up. You need to keep your coil going out. So you're running out of raffia, put your loop through, and instead of wrapping this over and pulling through, grab your new piece of yarn or raffia, give it a few inches and pull it through. And then all of the loose short bits, make sure you tuck them under and keep crocheting around them and keep going. So I hope this video is semi-clear to you guys. If it's not, I'll try again in better daylight. But see how you go with that and let me know. Thank you.